Benny, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hubba hubba.
Welcome back to the Zedos Game podcast, everybody. I am wiped out, so I'm going to go straight into it. We have Satch, Neil, and Ben. And we're going to go straight into the trailers. I ain't got time to know how everyone's feeling because it is how it is.
It's been that kind of week.
Yeah, it's been that kind of week. I hope everyone had a good bank holiday. But the first trailer we're going to go into is The Jungle Cruise. I saw this trailer a while ago. I don't know if there's a new one, but I saw enough what I needed to see from the first trailer, so I'm going to pass it on to you guys.
The trailer was bad. Well, I lie. Let me rephrase that. Let me be more accurate in what I say. This trailer gave away far too much information. Right? Prior to this trailer, all I knew was, okay, it's based on the ride, The Jungle Cruise, The Rock's in it, Emily Blunt's in it, Jack Whitehall's in it. They're searching for a tree with healing properties, and that was it. I'm good. I don't need anything else, right? I understand the whole, the non-movie buff, connoisseur public. They prefer to know a little bit more when they go to see a film. But watching this trailer, there was one thing, and I was like, "Oh, I quite like that." And then the rest of the trailer happened, and I was like, "Nope, no." Like now, I know everything. Like all of that, showing me like the unique creatures and the man who seemingly is made out of snakes or can control snakes or is part snake or whatever. Like all of that, I'm like, you could have saved that for the film.
Yeah, they do give away a lot.
Yeah, they gave away so much. The best part about the trailer was that they used Creedence Clearwater Revival, Welcome to the Jungle. That was it. That was the best part of the trailer, was that.
The problem with that, though, is so similar to, like, Welcome to the Jungle or The Rundown, if you remember that, like, from 2003. And it's just like, oh, yeah, let's play on that, and then let's play on the Jumanji. The film seems to have the same formula as Jumanji. Like, I feel like, when I was watching it, I was like, this could be another Jumanji for all I know.
Yeah, you know what it was? It's the first Jumanji, or it's the first Jumanji with The Rock in it, and it's the Brandon Fraser, The Mummy.
Yeah.
Them two things combined, that's Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, I don't. The other thing that bothers me about this is that this is coming out July 30th, a day and date with on Disney Plus, and they just did that with another film, which is it?
It's a Cruella.
Cruella, yeah, and it doesn't. That doesn't seem to work for Disney. Charging an extra £30 for to see the thing that you've already paid for. I don't get that. But
well, that's the thing. Sorry, it's weird because I have Disney Plus, so like I utilize it, and I'm like, I'm a Cineworld card member, and I was like, so I could watch something at home where I have to pay $15.99 or whatever it is to get it, or I could just take my ass to the cinema where I'm already paying $15.99 or wherever it is, and just watch it in the full glory of a cinema screen. And I think it's weird because, like, I feel like Disney are trying this out with their own films.
But it's worked with Cruella though, hasn't it? Like, it seems to be getting good reviews and good feedback so far. Like, I was impressed by it.
It's got good reviews. It's just not doing well on the platform.
They intended.
I mean, they're charging. I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to curve their ticket sale so they don't have to rely on cinema. But it's just not going to work for the films that they're doing it for.
No.
It just isn't.
I was led to believe that that's just a temporary measure, so it's only for this year.
Oh no! This is Disney, man. They'll if something works, they either put the price up or just make it stick. So
because it is wrong to charge that much. You know, you're paying for the service already. You know, you've got it all set up. Then it's like, oh yeah, I'm paying a little bit more, and it's like, but I've paid for it.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean enough to. Oh, they'll pay for it again. Pay for it again.
Because that's it. And you know what? It's for me, like, it's the ultimate disrespect. Because Raya and the Last Dragon, which I saw, which I think is a really good film. But Raya and the Last Dragon, it came out on Disney Plus, and I was like, maybe I should shell out that extra £20, you know, let my niece and my nephew watch it, and, you know, it's good, you know, feel good Disney movie. And then for some reason I was just like, nah, I'll wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can't tell this movie come out, and you could buy this movie on DVD and Blu-ray before I, who own Disney Plus, could watch it for free on Disney Plus. Right?
Yeah, that's
a slap in the face.
I mean, it's like
go on,
a long way around to get to you. It's like, you've got the Disney Plus service already, but you have to physically own it.
Like,
you're going to be the last one.
Yeah, I'm the last one to get it. So I was like, what? How dare you?
Yeah, until they manage how that dynamic works, I don't see that ever being successful. I mean, I don't know how much it is here, but it's $30 in America or something.
No, it's like usually like it's either like £15 or £20.
Okay.
You get it.
So that's the equivalent. I mean, that's more expensive. That's more expensive than the ticket.
But one thing though, even though it is more expensive than the ticket, one thing I will give it is that once you pay for it, that one extra one-time payment,
you can watch it as many times as you want.
Watch it as many times as you want, and then obviously when it becomes freely available, you already have it. And you already watch.
I mean, it's interesting, but they're just doing it with the wrong films.
But then again, I think maybe it's the wrong film for me.
Well, it's clearly the wrong film for everyone, because I was watching a show on YouTube, and they said it's not doing well. It's not doing well. I mean, if I don't have the solution for this because I don't care enough, but the balance, I think the balance has been met with Amazon. Amazon released their films in cinema, and then maybe 3 months down the line, it's on Amazon, or it just goes straight to Amazon and it's there for you if you're a subscriber. So I don't know what fuzzy logic Disney have, but that should work for it. If they did that.
Well, I think with Disney, it's a case of they're just trying to get as much of their investment back as possible. Now, I know that makes no logical sense, because obviously you tend to earn more in the theaters than on streaming, but you've got to understand we're in the midst of a pandemic. Theaters have just opened. Well, slowly getting better, but there's still people out there that would normally go to the cinema, but necessarily don't want to go to the cinema because they're too afraid to go out and catch this thing.
True.
Potentially, regardless of what, whether you've got, your vaccine or not, there are still a lot of people that won't go for that cinema experience. I'm one of those people that is very pro cinema experience, but I'll tell you something, I'm watching Black Widow at home on Disney Plus, and I'm willing to pay the money, because that would have been a film that I would have paid to watch at the cinema. So, and it's a Marvel film, so you know what? They got my money, and I'll support it by watching it day one release on Disney Plus. So, and I'm a pro advocate of cinema, okay? But there is an audience that do think that way, and Disney are smart enough to know that. And the thing is, that's kind of how it's going to peter out this year. And a lot a lot of the studios are aware of this. That some are taking the chance by trying to entice people to come back to theaters and stuff, and that's fine. But I like the fact that I have a choice. Personally, I know other people feel that way. Whether it works out for Disney or not, well, that's on the movie. That's on them, for giving us that choice. And, I do hear both your arguments about why it's bad for cinema, but for me, and for health reasons...
I didn't say it was bad for cinema.
Well, no, but you know what I mean in terms of box office growth.
Hey man, if Disney want to eat their own feet, that's fine with me. I couldn't care less. But
okay, cool. But I'm just shutting that argument down.
In terms of charging people that amount of money to watch a film that, I mean, Julie, I could probably buy 2 weeks before you.
True.
It's just not. It doesn't make any sense to me. Amazon's model makes more sense to me, and so does Netflix model.
Yeah, that's fine.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
But that's fine. That's fine for you, Joe. But other people think differently. For me, I'm a big Marvel fan.
Sure.
I'm a big Marvel fan, so I want to see it day of release. And if I can't go see it at the cinema, of course, if that's the only place where I'm going to see it, I'm going to do it.
It's not my argument, but
so
that's not my argument. I just said the model's just.
I'm not having an argument with you. I'm just saying, from my point of view, this is the point of view that I'm coming at. But you're coming in. But you're coming in with different stuff. I'm just saying that.
It was an argument about if it was doing anything to cinema, because cinema seems to be doing fine.
That's right.
In terms of what Disney are doing to their customers, it's odd. I just think it's odd. It's very odd. Well, we're gonna try and charge the maximum we can to pull the investment back in on this, because we don't want to rely on anyone else. I think it's greedy, but
I do agree. It is greedy, but I do think that because it's a new time, like the pandemic and that, it's a time for new things, new ideas, and I think they're trying it. They're just testing the surface, and they're using the family films because they know, people with families, rather than put their little ones at risk. Why not stay at home and watch it for a one-off fee? And it seems to be, weirdly, it does seem to be working in that sense. Like, it's not what I would have chosen to do, but it is working, and it's protecting people as well. So you can watch things at home, which is fine straight away, like Satcher was saying he would with Black Widow. So I do think, it took me a while to get my head around. I'm still not 100%, but I'm like, fine, okay, if that's the solution, let's see how it goes. Like you said, they're picking interesting films. It's not the top films that are top of the crop, but then those ones you want to hold on to. I think the only one that seems to be high up there for us would probably be Black Widow, and that could work because it's a film that everyone's waiting for.
I mean, it cost 250 million or close to, so they got to do something. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. That is Infinite. Okay, so the poster for this is quite bland because it's just Paramount Pictures Infinite streaming June 10th. So that's the only poster I could find for it. And so it stars Mark Wahlberg and Churchill Ejiofor. I can never pronounce his name. Churchill Ejiofor. I saw the trailer to it. It does look really good, but I'll never see it.
Sorry, I didn't discuss Jungle Cruise. I just talked about payment.
Okay, let's go back then.
Yeah, I had stuff to say, man, but I don't know, man. I just feel with the trailer, I just feel like, no, I think Neil nailed it. You guys nailed it on the head. Like, they showed too much, but at the same time, I'm just thinking, I don't think it'll be a bad movie. They're going for a Mummy Returns kind of thing, so it might be a cool ride. But I do think it was a bad trailer, if that makes sense. I don't think that's any slant on the film. I think the film's actually got something there, like an Indiana Jones Mummy kind of vibe. But I do think it's a weak trailer to showcase an IP, especially if it's a new IP for the first time. This may be its second trailer, but I don't recall the first trailer being memorable. And I do think they should have showed a bit more of the monsters that they're up against, because I was just like, oh, okay, that's what they're up against. But, the other bad thing about it, I felt the CGI was a bit weak, on the weak side kind of thing. So, if you're going to show me something, sell me on, what they're going up against and show me something good. But weak trailer, yeah. But anyway, back to Infinite. Again, I don't know, man. Cool idea, but it's action movie of the month. Anton Fuqua was very hit and miss with me, kind of thing. I liked the films advertised, Equalizer and Training Day. Training Day for sure. Training Day is top tier. But like his films in general are very hit and miss. And again, we're doing one of those action movies where
the cliches, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a cliche thing, and you know when they try to bite more than they can chew, when it really should have been a practical effect rather than a CGI fest. The CG was terrible in this trailer. It didn't sell me in the action, and the bit at the start with the gun thing, that's something you want to see in the movie or at least in the trailer, but you don't want to see a resolve in that scene, because when it comes to the movie, you know what's going to happen. You know he escapes that. But if you're doing a gun barrel thing, you need to keep the tension in the scene. And I know how that scene plays out now, boom, on that trailer. So I thought it was a weak trailer. I'm not too sold on the film, but you know, it has a good cast. We'll see. Hopefully there's more to it than what's shown in the trailer, but that's my 2 cents.
I have to say, this trailer, I actually watched it a day or two ago, and I randomly stumbled across it. I just said, "Oh, isn't that Mark Wahlberg? This film doesn't look familiar." And I watched it, and I thought, "Okay, here we go. We've got the maybe he's a secret spy or an agent or something with amnesia or schizophrenia. Oh, we've seen this before in Long Kiss Goodnight, and or maybe the one with Viggo Mortensen where he works in the bar." You know, where it's the waiter, and it's a history of violence. We've got this again, and nobody does it best at the moment, where you've got this everyday man who's actually got a past. But yeah, we're getting that a bit. You're getting that action cliche a bit too much now. And in this film, yeah, the CGI as well. So Anton Fuqua, I'm surprised to see him using CGI, because usually he's quite
practical.
It's quite practical in the past, and and he's also seems to be a bit more Michael Bay this trailer, like explosions, car chases. So I must admit, at the moment, I'm just feeling cliched. I'm just like, whatever. But I do generally love action films, and Mark Wahlberg generally is good. Fuqua usually very good. But so, but this, I'm a bit like, okay, let's see how this plays out.
Yeah.
This was a gender swap, the old god. Dead ass straight away, right? This is a gender swap, the old god. They then twisted a couple of beats. I was like, okay, I was like, all right, he lives an infinite amount of lives, or it's about reincarnation, and every time he comes back, he may be able to remember like the skills he obtained in a previous life, and then like utilize them in the now. I was like, okay, that's a good concept. It's a concept I've seen, so it's not so new and so out there that I can't relate it to something I've seen and that can either entice me more or put me off. It's something I've seen, so it's something familiar to me. I can sit down and watch it, and I know I'll enjoy it. But there was nothing stand out about this. It was essentially
checklist. Checklist.
Yeah, it was checklist. But more so than that, the films it reminded me of. Considering the storyline, it shouldn't remind me of those films. Like, okay, the old god, yeah, you can remind me of that. That's fine. But like the whole bit of like the woman crashing through with the truck, get in, drive off. I was like, did you steal the director's homework from like one of the Fast and Furious films? Because like the look of the truck and the look of it and the whole being chased, I was like, that looks like Fast 8, I think. Or like Fast
I can't
5.
remember. I haven't seen anything since 5.
Yeah, well, I was like, it is like, there's a scene in, I believe it's Fast 8, where they're in they're being chased by like a submarine, right? I know.
As you do.
Right? But like, they're in like ice cars that like drive across the ice and stuff. And it was just like, the look of the car is very similar to the look of the car that smashed through the wall. And then even the whole thing of smashing through the wall, I'm like, that's like Fast 5, where they smash through the wall to steal the vault. And I was just like, and I'm trying not to be that guy who's seen so many films that everything reminds me of something else. And then I'm like, oh, nothing's original anymore. I'm not trying to be that guy.
I'm that guy.
I'm just like, you can, like
I'm
you
getting
can,
there.
Can put a more. I'm like, look, the world has been essentially shut down for like a year. You've had time to craft things. You've had time to work things out. You've had time to come up with kind of. You don't need look. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, but a new tire won't go amiss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you mean.
I feel like with this trailer, like, I mean, the film could be excellent. It could be a good movie of just like, you know what, I don't need to think about this too tough. I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this film.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, the trailer, like, you gotta draw me in, like, bring me in. Don't just be like, all right, here's a bunch of action set pieces that you've seen before. Mm-hmm. Like, the most interesting thing that I genuinely got from this trailer was seeing Chiwetel Ejiofor, right, rolling into that room, bald head, beard, carrying a katana. I was like, I don't know what this film's about, but you got a good start.
Yeah, it to me it just looks like a popcorn film that I used to. Do you know the Armageddon era of cinema going? That's what it feels like to me. If I was watching the film before the film, this trailer showed up. Oh well, yeah. If this is coming out this summer, I'll go watch that. So you know, like a popcorn flick. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know what it's about narratively. I've seen it all before, but you put things in the right places. The right stars are on screen. The right buzzwords. If Arnold was in it, yeah, I'd definitely go to watch it. It's one of those films. That's what it reminds me of anyway. But this is coming onto streaming June 10th on the Paramount Plus channel. So
how will that work over here?
Sky.
I see.
Most likely Sky. I mean, like, everything up.
Or Now TV.
Or Now TV. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what deals with the. I know Warner Brothers and Fox, or that used to be Fox, have a deal with Sky, so all of their stuff goes to them and Now TV. But I don't know how it works over here, man. It's a crazy convoluted world. Anyway, let's move on. The next trailer is old. I'm gonna let you guys go on with this one.
You sound so impressed when you were like, "I'm gonna let you go."
I don't do his films anymore. Ever since Lady in the Water, I'm done.
Yeah, same.
I know he brought it back. He did bring it back with Split for sure. I never saw Glass though because I heard it was bad. So I was like,
"Oh, there you go." Well, what the fuck do I want to watch this film then?
But here's the thing: Split was really, really good, and I was hyped for Glass, and I didn't see it. I just heard it was bad by multiple people, and because that let me down, I didn't want to be let down, so I didn't go see it. But I
rest my case.
But I will see it eventually because I do want to see what happened to Glass and is his name David? I can't remember. But
yeah, David Dunn.
David Dunn. I want to see what happened to those cats like years later. And plus, like, to be fair, to see, I guess the one thing is, it's a film where Bruce Willis gives a shit, so which is a rarity these days. And I've seen Afterlife, and that film is bad. Okay, that film is wow.
What's Afterlife?
Oh man, dude, some sci-fi. We reviewed it on the channel. I don't think it was one of the episodes you were there, but we definitely reviewed the trailer, and it's like he's on a spaceship. He's like
I know what you're talking
janitor on a spaceship, and shit goes down, and it's B-movie badness, man. It's so bad. There's even like action scenes where a guy's fighting someone and then it cuts to Bruce Willis is fighting someone and then it cuts to another guy who's doing an old school Bruce Willis in a shaft, and he's talking to Bruce Willis on a hologram thing, and Bruce Willis is talking to him normally, but then you're like, hang on, isn't he in a fight? And then it cuts back to the fight where he's beating up someone, and then it cuts back to him talking to the guy normally, and I'm like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. But anyway.
I'm glad you watched it instead of me.
Tangent.
What did you make of Old?
Old, great concept. I think it's a really interesting concept. I like the idea of it. I also like the way it's shot as well, kind of thing, which is completely different to what he's ever done before. So I'm really enjoying that aspect. But it's a case of, can the concept maintain my interest throughout the whole 2 hours or however long it is? That's the thing. I do think they showed a little bit too much in the trailer. For sure, but I like the concept. I didn't hate it though. I didn't hate the trailer, and I didn't hate the concept. If they can, you know what I mean? If it's one of those ones, we'll find out soon enough whether he made it work or not. But I'm intrigued just on the you know, if it didn't have his name on it, and if it was somebody else, I'd be like, yeah, this is interesting. But you know, obviously we're like M Night, come on, man. But here's the thing. Split surprised me, and his previous film before that with the grandparents in the house, The Visit. Okay, that was a case of lightning strikes twice kind of thing. Those were really good films. So I'm kind of hoping that it's more like that and his earlier stuff, and not like The Lady in Water and everything else. I pray that.
He pushed it with The Village, man. He pushed my patience with that film. And the lady in the Water came. Nah, done.
You know what ruined it for me?
What's it?
The Happening. Like, as soon as every
you stayed extra for. I never even saw The Happening.
Every time a bit of wind and the grass went whoosh, and everybody's running for their lives, and I thought, what is this nonsense? And that was the one that kind of where I lost it. But yeah, Split brought it back. It was like, wow. And the thing is, maybe he needs to write actors like James McAvoy.
Maybe. But I think with him, it's a bit hard to get his finger on the pulse because he's so specific to a genre. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you see his name, you're just like, it's the twist thing again. You know what I mean? Like, Split, it wasn't a twist. It was more like an Avengers moment. You know what I mean? Like when you saw him in the bar, you were just like, oh shit, Bruce Willis, fuck, it's part of... Yeah, and instead of a big twist, it got you excited because he's a character we've always wanted to see back and to see more of. So it worked in that retrospect, you know, because it was like an Avengers moment. But to be honest, I would have preferred I've not seen Glass yet, but you know what I would have liked to have done, and I know I've changed the subject completely, but you know, with Split was so good. It was up there with Unbreakable. Like, here's a new character in this universe. I would have loved to have, like, there been, like, another film where it's another kind of, like, supervillain character, like McAvoy, like Glass, and doing his thing. And at the end, we have a link to Unbreakable and have maybe, like, 5 villains, and then we got, like, a Sinister Six thing, and then, you know what I mean? Like, you got David Dunn, he's got to fight them all. You know what I mean? Like, have that as a thing. And that way he would have had his own fucking Marvel thing going on. But at the same time, he would have had, like, 5 really cool little supernatural kind of thrillers with these crazy kind of characters. Fuck it, Neil. Let's make our own one.
I don't mean to be disrespectful to Mr. Shalaman, but he is the movie-making equivalent of, like, a guy with, like, a 10-inch dick who comes in, like, a minute. Like, he'll drop his trousers, and then, you know, like, whoever he's with will be like, whoo! Business time. And then, like, 1, 2, 3 strokes, it's all over. Right? Because you think of, like, his films, and, you know, it's like Sash pointed out perfectly. He said if it didn't have his name attached to it, you'd be like, wow, this is going to be really interesting. But the second it's got his name, you're like, I just don't know.
Yeah, you're counting all those times you've been disappointed. You're like, The Village, Signs, and then just go on and on.
It's like, for me, I haven't seen all of his films. I've seen The Sixth Sense.
You've seen the good
Unbreakable. I've seen Sixth Sense, Unbreakable.
Signs.
The Lady in the Water, which I didn't hate it. I've seen far worse. I was like, okay, it's a bit weird, but at the same time, when I watched it, I didn't know as much about him as a director. Like, I'd never seen his face, so when he was in the film as the character, I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, it's because I knew it was him. That's what.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Because I didn't know it was him. I was like, oh, that's all right. I was like, you're putting a lot of weight on this writer guy, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's all right. So I haven't seen The Happening.
No, you don't.
I have no idea.
I haven't seen it, but don't.
other than I know it's something to do with the trees and the leaves and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't do it, man.
I don't know. I've never seen it. Right?
Don't do it.
You'll never get it 2 hours back.
Yeah, and I never watched The Village because when I was about to watch it, someone told me the ending. So I know the twist.
Okay.
So, because I know the twist, I'm like, nah, mate. That's like, you can't watch The Usual Suspects knowing the twist.
Oh, yeah.
True.
So I can't watch that film and then, like, objectively see it and then be like, oh, shit, that's the ending. Like, no, right? With this trailer, it was, well, with seemingly this film, it looks like it's crafted exceptionally well. But the trailer goes on too long. And because the trailer goes on too long, you lose some of that edge. Like, I don't need to know about people having blackouts. I don't need to know, like, that they go investigating the island. All I needed to see, they arrive, they start young, they get older, oh, there's a dead body there. Oh, that's all I needed to see.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been perfect. But, I mean, realistically, unless your last name's Nolan, Tarantino, Spielberg, right? How much say do you really have in the trailer, right? If you're directing a film,
McQuarrie now. I'll put McQuarrie in that now. Chris,
even that, right?
Chris
yeah,
McQuarrie.
like unless you're one of them serious, top-notch individuals, you ain't really got enough say in your trailer. So when they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna push this bit," and he's like, "Well, I want to kind of keep that hidden," and they're like, "Yeah, keep it to yourself."
Yeah,
right.
Maybe he just needs to switch genres, man. Give him a spy thriller.
Yeah.
No,
at least we know there's a twist in one of those things. And
that's. I mean, there's. After Earth, I've not seen. I've seen enough of it.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I've seen enough of it to know that I'm done. I'm okay. I'm good.
It ain't the worst, but the trailer is a blatant lie.
Yeah, it really is.
This is Earth.
Yeah, the trailer is a blatant lie about that film. And what else did he do? I saw what was the film he did? It was based on
there's a lift.
Avatar.
Last Airbender.
Avatar. I saw The Last Airbender, having never seen the show.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So at the time I watched the film, I'd never seen the show. And I was like, wow, why are people hating so much? This ain't that bad. Then I watched the show and I was like, hey, you earned some of that hate. I was like, that was not unwarranted. You kind of earned that.
Well, yeah, go on.
It's interesting with him because there's obviously some studio out there that keeps giving him chances, and it's like he will surprise. Like he will make every once in a while. He will make that one split or another good film. It's just somewhere, but it's just with old. Like you said, it's been presented in the wrong way. Like the problem with Happening, which I feel with old as well. These are dated films. The Happening would have worked perfectly in the '60s. If you could imagine like special effects and people running away. But yeah, it's just the way it's filmed, it didn't quite work. And that's what I feel with old. I feel with old, it's just, we've got a concept here, something that we've seen in the 80s and 90s, where it's like, oh, there's a curse going around and fine. But if they just kept a little bit more under the hat, we didn't have to know exactly how much they aged. We could have just known that they suffer slightly. There's an old skeleton of somebody who's aged very fast around them. And you could have just left it at that. But we already know.
I would have liked the trailer to end. Like, I take it we've all seen the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked the trailer to end with when the mother is screaming for her children, and then she sees the children, and they're grown.
Yeah. End the trailer there. And the trailer there. That creates enough intrigue for anyone to go see it. Evidently enough, I'm going to wrap this up now. This Old opens in theaters on July 23rd. You've got to understand, this guy is still the guy who created Sixth Sense, who small budget film that made millions. So
well, they're all relatively small budgets. He's
yeah,
teamed up with Blumhouse, so that's why they're making.
I'm just talking about.
Monies.
I'm just talking about the guy he is, which is why he keeps getting. He's the guy who made Sixth Sense. Yeah, he's the guy who made Sixth Sense. He's always going to be the guy that made Sixth Sense. So that's going to work for him. Like George Lucas is the guy who made Star Wars. It's always going to be him. That's him. And so they're going to give him chance with that. And because Blumhouse know what they're doing with their marketing and their stuff, usually this will make it. It's coming in cinema. So if it's in the cinema for a week, 2 weeks, it'll make its budget back, and then they can do whatever else they want with it. And yeah, that's a success for Blumhouse. Okay, next trailer is Werewolves Within. I didn't see this trailer, so I'm gonna let you guys jump in with this. What did you guys make of it?
I quite liked it. I mean, like, it has potential. Typical teen kind of, you know what I mean, group of characters in a cabin and werewolves outside, kind of comedy horror kind of thing. Yeah, I've not seen I've not seen the director's first film. It came out last year. Josh Rubin's the director. He's done a lot of short films and a lot of stuff for College Humor, actually. So he's done loads of skits and stuff. So, you know, this is his second film. Obviously, he's gone into the horror four-way. Last year, he did a film called Scare Me, which I'm probably going to check out tonight, maybe, of the podcast. But, I think it could be a lot of fun. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. We haven't seen werewolves much lately, so it's okay. Let's bring the werewolves back. At first, I thought, oh no, is this going to be like a Twilight set in the world of werewolves? But then, it was kind of like a brat house, kind of college students or high school students going away to a cabin somewhere, being surrounded. But it seemed very sharp on the witty, like almost Shaun of the Dead style humor as well, quite dark but also funny. So I didn't laugh once in the trailer, but I can imagine sitting in a cinema watching that, things will develop and get through.
Was it? Can I ask you guys something? Did you ever guys see Tucker and Jax versus
Tucker
Evil?
and Dale versus Evil?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Is it kind of in that same vein?
Not from the trailer.
Okay.
I mean, that Tucker and Dale versus Evil was like, maybe it is a little. It's in they're distant cousins.
Right. Okay.
You consider they're distant cousins.
That's good enough for me. I know the guy, the black guy on the poster. He was on a show called Veep, and he's really funny in it. If I was thinking, if I don't see this guy in a film soon, something, the world's wrong, because he steals the last 2 seasons of Veep. So the fact that I can see him in a film now, that's justice. Again, you guys carry on with the review. Ben, did you say anything already?
Yeah, no, I did. I was just saying, but it's okay. Like, they didn't give away. It was a slightly long trailer. They didn't give away too much. There's obviously lots of kind of dark humor and typical frat boy humor as well. Kids scared in a place, all getting up to no good, and werewolves surrounding them. So it could be an interesting one.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't remember. That's also coming out in theaters on. I can't actually see it, but it's coming out in theaters clearly sometime soon.
Yeah,
go on.
It's weird. Like, so I watched the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't impress me, but it didn't like underwhelm me. I was just like, okay, it's a trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I know what the film's about. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing it really did do was make me research the game.
Oh right, yeah. So there's a game. Yeah.
So it made me research the game, and when I researched it, I was like, oh, okay, I understand it a little bit better now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was it based on a video game?
Yeah, it's based on a video game.
It's a PC game, right?
Okay.
PlayStation. Well, it's on PlayStation 4.
Okay. I thought it was a PC game. Yeah. I think it's on everything. Anyway, I'm gonna jump forward to the last trailer of the day, which is the Chris Pratt to the Tomorrow War, and that is going to be on Amazon Prime from 2nd of July. What do you make of this, guys?
Can I just say, there's been a big deal about this film when they were first making it, and it was going to be one of the first big Amazon Prime films. Saw the trailer, thought, okay, guy getting recruited into the future. Yeah, exactly, standard. A bit, almost like the what's the bug film, the Verhoeven one?
Starship Troopers.
Yeah. That's what I was feeling. Then once he's there, the training, I thought, okay, we're going Aliens now, going on, and it just made me want to watch Aliens, to be honest.
It did the opposite. It made you want to watch another film.
Yeah. I'm still having doubts about Chris Pratt. I mean, he made Guardians. I agree with that, but I'm still not sure if he's as good without Guardians.
I like him in Jurassic Park. Jurassic World. I think it's Owen. His character is.
Yeah, his name's Owen Greedy or something like that.
He seems to work. That character gels with him so far. And then Guardians, so you're right. So apart from those characters, he's done some like in between characters. He's in Zero Dark 30, which I only figured out after I watched it. So that was Chris Pratt, because I remember him from Parks and Rec, and he was fat, and then he was tonking that, and I didn't even know that was him. So this film feels like again, just like the Infinite films, it feels standard. It feels like a summer popcorn film, but you're just not going to watch it in the cinema. It's very standard. Sorry, Ben, I hijacked your thing there.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I just feel that this kind of film, like Chris Pratt, he is a good leading man. He works hard into his roles, and Zero Dark 30 was a good serious film, but then he went with Guardians. But I just feel with this one, it's trying to be an action film, but all I see is Chris Pratt's kind of delivery of his humor, and he handles it well. But I just wanted something. If you're going to make an action film, you need to get the old school action, and you need to get the action actors. You need to get the people that you can actually believe can pick up a gun and fire it. Can get into a fight and be the last person standing.
Yeah, I see.
You need to get that.
So they managed to do that with Keanu and when he's doing all that stuff in John Wick, you fucking believe it.
Exactly.
And that kind of conviction from this for this type of film, you kind of want that, and you really don't. It's just like it's like they edited all his funny lines together, and go watch it. Chris Pratt's in it.
Well, Chris Pratt.
You like him, don't you?
Yeah, I think the problem is for me. I can't take, and this is not a criticism of his acting abilities. I can't take Chris Pratt seriously.
With a name, because of the name.
I expect to see and hear jokes when I see. So to see, he doesn't really make any jokes in the trailer. Like, there are lines which are designed to be comedic, but it's sort of like, would they be as comedic if Keanu Reeves was delivering them? It's like there's a bit where I think there's a guy who just has no idea how to hold a gun. And he's like, you do this, this, and this, and does it for him. And he's like, oh, ex-military, yeah? And he's like, yeah. Right? And it's designed to be funny because it's Pratt delivering the line. But I can tell that if somebody gave me the script and I just read that and I was reading it and I had no idea Chris Pratt is the person who's supposed to be saying the line, I would just be like, okay, ex-military, yep. Okay. It wouldn't give me a moment to pause and think, oh, there's a little chuckle. No, it's just the line, and because of that, it's difficult to see him. Like I said, be serious, because when you think about it, right? Endgame and Infinity War, in those two films, or not Endgame, but in Infinity War, he has a really fucking dramatic moment in that film. The moment of deciding to shoot Gamora or not. That's really, really, really emotional. And then, you know, finding out when they find out that Gamora's, you know, that Thanos threw her off the cliff and that. There's really emotional scenes, and he does really well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still Chris Pratt, and it's still going to be a joke at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so I think I need to see him in a film where he either dies or
Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's about that.
I forgot about that.
But he's still got jokes there.
Yeah, he's still the guy with the jokes, and
but he's supporting, which is good. He's better supporting.
You know what he is? He's the swashbuckler. He's the lovable rogue, and I'm like, that works great because you are a very good comedic actor. I've seen Parks and Recreations. I know you're funny.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's like it's almost like he's being typecast against his will.
Can I just say, there used to be this actor, you probably have heard of him, Ashton Kutcher. Now, he used to be around, he used to use some rom-coms. They tried to use him once for a suspense horror time-traveling flick called Butterfly Effect.
Yep,
then one day, he disappeared, and then Chris Pratt came along, doing the exact same thing.
But better.
And it's like, it's just a tad better, only because he stepped into Marvel. But it's just like they're not sure what to do with him, and they're just testing, will he work in this, will he work in that? And it's just like, no, you know what he's going to work in, just don't, you know, if you're going to put him in an action film, only do that if he's supporting, don't make him the lead.
Yeah, just like Jurassic World, he's
ensemble.
Yeah, he's an ensemble cut. So when he's an ensemble, he seems to, well, his character Owen anyway seems to work better for that. For that world anyway, so I guess he works. We haven't seen. We're being objective here, but because once we see, once some of you guys see the film, so maybe I'll see it. We'll have a better indication of if it works or not. But from the trailer, it's cookie cutter. It's checklist. It's explosion there. Guy out of his depth here. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's we've seen it before.
I got a question because I haven't spoken about this, but I agree with everything you guys said. Cookie cutter, yada yada yada. But so they go. What's it? So these guys go back in time to hire people now to go fight for the future.
Right.
Am I right in saying that there is a time travel plot hole in that?
I don't know. I haven't seen the film.
No, but I mean just that concept already.
They haven't gone through it in detail. I don't understand the purpose of why they're doing that, but
because if you go back, if you're from the future and you go back, right, and then you send other people from this time forward.
Is this Back to the Future rules or some other rules?
No, if you look at, well, I mean, not even time Back to the Future. If you look at just time travel in general, it's sort of like if you are yourself, like, all right, the four of us, we are here alive in, you know, June 1st, 2021. If we are then sent 30 years into the future to fight in a battle, if we die in the future, then events that we are present for the next 30 years, we're not present for. So that creates...
there's a because there's a time paradox there.
Yeah, it creates
because,
a paradox.
I don't
because
know,
because here's the thing: if he's the main character, Chris Pratt, he's from a time period where the future person comes to him, right? But we're following Chris Pratt. Okay, their future automatically ceases to exist the minute he time travels to it. Like the minute they go with him there, you know what I mean? Him not being there.
But at the same time,
makes no sense.
But at the same time, part of me believes that I'm like,
that's why Back to the Future rules, though. So
because there's that little gauntlet thing that they put on his wrist.
Yeah.
Right? Sorry for those watching the video. I'm not Roman Reigns. Right? But
I got that, yeah.
But those, like the little thing that they put on his wrist, it says it allows you to jump forward and backwards through time. I imagine they'll probably try and, I hope that they'll try and utilize that and say, you know what, like we can only send you on certain missions because we don't want it to impact the future and then create a paradox or chaos or whatever. I hope they
time travel movies are, you know, Back to the Future is a class act, and it's a hard class act to follow.
Definitely.
Time travel movies in general, it's usually just avoid. I mean, hell, Endgame doesn't even work logically, but you know what? That's probably because they're setting up shit for the next phase to do time travel and multiverses and whatever. You know what I mean? That's going to affect.
With those films, I don't even think about it that hard. My genuine thing with the Marvel movies, if it doesn't entertain me, then it's shit. Entertain me. Is do I care about the characters? And with those films, that's what I want from it. With this film, I want some logic. If it can't explain that to me, what you just said, Satch, then it's a shit film.
It made no sense to me watching the trailer. So,
I mean, I guess they're trying to create intrigue into that paradox that you just mentioned. Again, I didn't think about it too tough because I thought, okay, this is a cookie cutter standard kind of thing. But
I'm assuming there will be some kind of comedy in it. I mean, like, it's directed by Chris McKay, so we're talking the Lego Batman movie 2, and you know.
You've seen the trailer, Sash, right?
Yeah, and you did the Lego movie and Lego Movie 2 and stuff. So yeah, we'll have to see.
What are you gonna say, Neil?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer, Neil.
There's an old man in the trailer, like a famous actor. I can't remember who it is.
Morgan Freeman.
No. I have to look it up.
Donald Sutherland.
Maybe. No, someone younger than them.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Not that yet. But it's like, whoever this person is, J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Yeah.
Big J.K., right? Now.
Omni-Man.
Part of me, yes. Omni-Man. Part of me feels like, and like, if this winds up being a spoiler for those who are watching this now, actually, no, I ain't sorry. Like, if it's a spoiler, then I'm just good at reading shit. Like, tough shit for you, innit? Right?
You said it already, so spoiler.
I feel like J.K. Simmons might be Chris Pratt from the future.
Okay.
Because 30 years is a nice round number. I could see how you could turn from Chris Pratt to J.K. Simmons in 30 years.
Yeah, Chris Pratt's roughly my age, so if he's going that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Wow, so you might have just figured this out. You just ruined the film for everyone, man.
Oh, did I spoil it? My bad. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's a good theory, actually. That's a really good theory. But before we say any more about it, I'm just gonna move on to the next. So the Tomorrow War is out on July 2nd on Amazon Prime, and I guess wherever else after that. Okay, straight into the news. So J.J. Abrams is committed to making this Portal movie, which I believe has been greenlit now, and Portal. Have any of you guys played Portal? Is it the same Portal that I'm thinking about?
Yeah, it's the video game Portal, right? I personally never played it.
Okay.
I know many people who have, and I know a lot of the game.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bad idea. JJ, you are a good filmmaker. You know what you're doing most of the time. This is not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a good idea. And those who have played the game will probably be far more in depth in explaining why it's not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
The brief knowledge I have from having many friends who have played this game is enough to tell me this is a bad idea.
Can I just ask, without knowledge of it, would it be similar to that Sliders TV show or Jumper?
No.
Okay.
This is like in the game. It's a puzzle solving game. So every level is solving a puzzle, and obviously you can create these little portals that you can jump from one place to another, or you can move objects from one place to another. But the whole strength of the game is the puzzle solving. There isn't this isn't like Halo or Mass Effects or Resident Evil, where there's massive in-depth storyline that you need to run through. The crux of the game is solving these puzzles, and trying to make a story out of that. Well, that's
well, the game itself has its own story. I mean, J.K. Simmons voices one of the characters in the game. I mean, whether J.K. Simmons is in the movie, who knows? Because, like, obviously they've written a script. There's nothing set in stone. JJ's producing it. I mean, to be honest, I'd much rather JJ do something like this than the shit he's doing currently. Because at least with something like Porthole, he doesn't have a standard to go up against, and he could probably turn it into something special. I mean, the game storyline is pretty linear, to be fair. I could see it being adapted quite easily, to be quite honest, using portholes as the big selling point. And, you know, as long as he adapts it to the gamers, which usually doesn't happen in Hollywood, let's be fair, but let's just say that he does, at least it could be a potential win for him. But again, I'd much rather see JJ tackle stuff like this rather than, you know what I mean, like the stuff he has been rather than old IPs, because he's played the old IP bandwagon for quite, and only has been a few of them, Mission Impossible being one of them. So
you're
for that.
Your internet is either knocking out or someone's just really stealing the juice from your area.
Yeah. Somebody's using pause on your laptop.
You went from 30 frames to 1 frame to no voice to and so I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear. Did you guys hear most of that?
Not towards the end.
Okay. What did you say towards the end, Satch?
I just said that I'd prefer JJ do something like this, where it's fresh and new and a new IP. Fair enough, it's a video game property, but it's a video game property where, you know, as long as he looks at what's established, he could probably add to it and make it his own, rather than do what he has been doing by picking established IPs. Sure, he's had a few successes there, but he's had a lot of misses. So it's kind of like I think for him, rather than be the IP guy, you know what I mean, like the remake guy, the reboot guy, let's do something original.
It's called Super 8.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. It's almost a decade now. You know, a decade is a long time. When you look at one's filmography and just see how many original films have you done, you know what I mean? He's just got one. He's the sequel king. You know what I mean? He is literally the reboot king, because most of his stuff is reboots or sequels. Mission Impossible 3, I'd give him that for sure.
Yes.
But everything else, you know, fair enough. You could say, yeah, he did a good job on Force Awakens and Star Trek 1, etc. But, you know, still reboot, you know, he's still reboot guy. Him doing Superman now, reboot guy. It's
Depending
you know what I mean? Yeah, but still, you know what I mean? So the point I'm trying to make is, this is a good step for him in doing something original, in doing an original film. Yeah, it's an IP, but it's something fresh for him to go, hey, but that's whether he's directing or not. He's just attached as a producer, so we'll see. The script's been apparently the script's been written for years. They just haven't got round to doing anything with it. So we'll see what happens, man.
Well, I think because people don't even, I think the gamers know what Portal is. Some gamers, anyway, know what Portal is. I don't think a lot of the world knows what that is. So that could be potentially be a big IP for whoever's putting up the money for it. Is it Warner's?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I know he's got a deal with Warner, so I was guessing. If that's the case, then
I could imagine that if he was going to do it, he'd want to do it big budget, and that's probably why he's doing a studio film first, you know. So he makes millions of the studio film before he goes forth and does this new crazy thing. So that's generally how it works. Regardless of it being an IP of a video game, obviously with any director, you're only as good as your last big movie. You'd think Force Awakens would be good, but for him, it's about getting good with Warner's for, you know, future stuff, because obviously he's a producer as well. So we'll see. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about Portal, but good luck to him. I hope I hope it does better for him than the what was the last Star Wars film?
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it later.
You guys are. I'm just gonna. Did everyone talk about Portal?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move on then. Okay, so the next story. Satch, that text you sent me. You didn't put anything in.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. I've got your PDF. It's not there.
It should be on the second PDF because I sent you a thing.
I've only got
and
one
then
PDF.
I deleted. I've sent you two. I've got it on my phone.
I will literally show you.
That's weird.
What?
Open that up. Open that
Shall we
up.
just throw it in now?
Yeah.
Sure. I don't. That's coming out backwards.
Yeah, I can't see
I can
it.
see it. I can see
Yeah.
it.
Oh no, that's the old one.
Yeah, that's the only one I got.
That's weird.
No,
Okay.
I got the one he's talking about.
Okay. So, what was that?
So yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was on.
Yeah, we talked about this through text the other day.
Yeah. So yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has like his own like YouTube channel and stuff, and he does like
Pumping
loads of
iron.
stuff there. But lately, he's been doing like interviews with political leaders and people he knows in the entertainment business and stuff. And he had a one-on-one for about 30 minutes with James Cameron, just talking about the environment and biking and general stuff that they do, smoking cigars and Avatar. So yeah, it was, he mentioned he'd been on the set a couple of times, like quite a few times, and it was confirmed that he has been on set more than one occasion, etc., which kind of has led a lot of speculation. Is Arnold in Avatar? Is he in any of these sequels? If Arnold was in these sequels, would it make you want to see these sequels? What do you think, guys?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I've heard your views on the Avatar sequels before. Like, it's been so long. Like, not everybody. I love the first Avatar, and I'm happy to see a sequel because it's James Cameron. You know he's gonna invent something to sell the film.
Don't
Arnie,
ever
I feel
bet
like
against James Cameron.
exactly. But I feel that with Arnie, I feel like at the moment it could only be a cameo. But if it's more, that could only be a blessing.
Yeah, same. I mean, like, look, if you're saying Schwarzenegger's in Avatar, if I wasn't in before, I'm definitely in now because, man, the fact that he just needs to be in more stuff, man. I hate it when old movie stars go to the graveyard, man, and I just feel like after Terminator Dark Fate, like even before that, like he just hasn't been prominent as he should be, But if he is in the Avatar films, that's gonna make me happy. That's gonna make me very happy.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, isn't it? The problem with Arnie, like, he's great, but he's been trying all these new projects. He did this silly comedy a couple of years ago.
Kill Gunther or something.
That was terrible.
And he just needs his old mates, the directors, the ones who know him best and know how to use him, and that has been Cameron.
To be fair, the Gunther thing was hilarious when he showed up eventually. It's just the fact you spent like a good hour and a half of that movie where he's not in it and they talk about him. And like when he kills them one by one, you don't see him. It's like he's either sniped them and like, where is he? It's like them against like the Predator almost. And then he just shows up and then he steals the show. But before him showing up, the movie wasn't great. You know what I mean? Like it was very dry, and none of those guys. I think it was a very low budget movie, and they managed to get him and put him in there, and it was just like the actors weren't great. The script wasn't strong enough.
All those actors are stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
A lot of them are in. What was that show that Childish Gambino was in?
Oh, Community.
Oh,
Community.
Atlanta.
A lot of them are in Community.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
I mean, they do other stuff, but
Yeah.
that is just the film was bad.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, maybe it was the script, but like it was just the jokes weren't there, man. The jokes weren't there. And
Yeah,
Arnold-
they tried to do this documentary type
Yeah.
thing, which doesn't work for that type of film.
yeah,
It just doesn't work.
And that's the thing with Arnie, you just need the old school directors because they're the ones that have used him best.
James
always.
McTiernan?
John
Yeah.
McTiernan.
At one point, yeah.
James McTiernan,
Couple
yeah.
of points.
He recently made a film again, didn't he? James McTiernan.
Did he?
Yeah. I saw his name on something.
Okay.
I don't know what that was. I'll find out. Yeah, sorry, I completely jumped in and interrupted. Sorry, carry on.
No, that's it from me. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Over to you. One of you.
Okay. Has everyone said everything they need to say about what were we talking about?
Arnold being
Avatar.
in.
Oh yeah, Arnold being an
I,
Avatar.
like
okay.
I literally looked it up right while you guys were talking, right? And it's like Avatar was 2009,
Wow.
right? That was 2009.
12
That's when
years
Avatar
ago.
came out. And you know, we're getting possibly four sequels to. We're getting 4 sequels to a world that, for all intents and purposes, we saw everything we needed to see of.
Apparently not.
Right? Like, and I'm not. This is not me, going against James Cameron, but I'm just like, Avatar 2 is gonna have to pull in some magic. Like, you are literally. This is like you're gonna have to like sacrifice Harry Potter to the blood of the elder gods, like, for the magic you gonna need to use for Avatar to rock it.
Cameron can do it.
I mean, his last two films.
Caught up right up sleeve.
His last 2 films, the highest grossing films of all time. Last 2. Who does that? Who the fuck does that?
And remember this time frame. Remember you said how long it is, 2009 since the first Avatar. Yeah. That's the same amount of time between Terminator 1 and 2. 1983 to 1992, roughly the same.
Yeah, 1991.
Yeah.
It's roughly the same time, and the same time between Titanic and Avatar. So look, man, it's not. Look, he could not. It may not make like 3 billion or whatever the last one for his films make, but if it causes $1 billion, that's a win. It's a win. If it causes $1 billion, it's a win. If all those films cost $1 billion, that's 4 billion. So it's
that'd be the price that Disney paid to get Marvel.
Yeah. And so I mean, it's never. Ever since I saw, I'd never thought back in 2009 when Avatar came out that would be number 1, and for the amount of time it was number 1. Never bet against Cameron. Let's move on.
Exactly.
Okay, so whoops, wrong thing. Okay, so The Evil Dead Rise is being made for HBO Max. Bruce Campbell not set to return, but is producing the movie of Sam Raimi. I don't know about you, but if you make an Evil Dead film without Bruce Campbell, it's not an Evil Dead film. It's a film pretending to be Evil Dead. So I'm out.
Hold the door. I'm coming with you.
To be fair though, it's Sam Raimi at least producing.
Yeah, he's producing.
So at least that's something there. I mean, the remake film wasn't so bad. It was okay. You know.
I mean, he was right. Did you see the
credit scene? Yeah, the groovy.
Yeah. You know what? I really, 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 really liked the Evil Dead remake.
It was good.
I really liked it. But you know why I liked it? Because I didn't go in with any level of intention of expecting Evil Dead.
Right.
I was just like, I'm gonna go watch a horror film. That's it. And it just so happened to have the similar beats to Evil Dead. That's the way I look at it. It was just like it followed similar beats.
With a bigger budget.
If I went in there with the expectation of I want Evil Dead, the film would have been shit. Mm-hmm. The film would have been terrible to me. But when we're in proper Evil Dead, like no Bruce Campbell, you ain't got Bruce Campbell, and all we know at this moment in time is that Sam Raimi is producing it. That means you're getting another motherfucker to write it, right? I don't know if like anybody's writing hand is that strong.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Saj? Because I've said everything I need to say about this.
Okay, so I'm a fan of the original 3 films. I've not seen the series, but I've heard nothing but great things about the TV show. Now, here's the thing. Okay, Sam Raimi, when they did the remake last time round, the idea was that, like that formula, the cabin's always there. So potentially you could get like anyone show up there and they go through similar experiences. If you look at the first film, that's exactly what happened. There were people before Ash. There are people after Ash. Now here's the thing. The whole point of the remake for Rami was to boost the IP up so that studios and audiences would greenlight a sequel to it so that he could do like a crossover movie where we have Ash and whoever the new person is dealing with something, and then to try and move the series forward, etc. That remake, it did pretty good money, but the studio only really at the time wanted to do it with the same director, and he went off and done other stuff. I think he did Crawl. I'm not too sure. Yeah, there we go. He did Crawl, and Crawl is a fantastic movie. I really love that movie, and obviously he's gone off to do other things and stuff, and it's been years since that reboot even, and but not long enough where I mean, sure, it's another reboot with different characters. I think the IP lends itself to have different characters. I do understand the fan base love Bruce Campbell and love Ash, but if this is another way of boosting the IP so Sam Raimi can do the movie that he really wants to do, I'm for it, kind of thing. I just want a good movie. Just don't. If you're not going to have Ash in it, don't do the cliche of creating a character that's Ash but isn't Ash. That would fuck me off. You know what I mean? But it looks like it's a female kind of, because everything's female these days, they're putting a female cast in. And I'm actually not against it for this IP, personally. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of slack over that stuff, but you know what? I think you've got to understand, it's a horror movie. I think story-wise, it kind of lends itself to that, and if it's going to bring up the IP to a new generation and stuff and have new people visit the older films, fine. But here's the thing, that TV show would never have got made if it wasn't for the reboot. And you've got to understand, Sam Raimi would not put his name to it because he produces horror movies all the time. You know what I mean? So he's just trying to lift. Sam Raimi has said before with the last one, he's just trying to make it a brand where it's up there with all the other horrors, because those movies were B movies when they came out in the 80s. They weren't big blockbusters. They were cult films that became horror classics, in their own right. So it's just trying to get these films or that IP to a wider audience, which in some ways is selling out. But if he needs to do that so we can have Bruce Campbell headline a movie again, I'm in.
See, the heartbreaking thing is?
What's that?
There is, for me, until obviously Sam Raimi proves different, there's only one thing that I ever want to see Ash in,
Jason and the Argonauts.
Right here.
What is that?
Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
It is literally it begins directly after the end of Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, nice.
And it is a masterclass of merging genres and characters. We've had Alien versus Predator, we've had King Kong versus Godzilla, we've had Freddy versus Jason. Like there is no one else. Right? That's what should have happened next.
Well, I mean, you might get your wish depending on if this film does well. So,
even if they just made an animated movie and they just had Bruce Campbell and Robert Englund voice Freddy and Ash, I'd be happy.
But yeah, by doing this TV show, that's the only way. Without Campbell and then bring him back.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I still don't know how to feel about that, but bring it on. Okay, on to the next topic. Bond official statement that the films will always be committed for cinema screens, and despite the Amazon deal. Okay, so I mean that's from what Sat just told me. That's a no-brainer because the Crowleys still own Bond. Yeah. So yeah, it's, and I don't think Bond would work on for a straight-to-video kind of thing.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. I'm glad it's still coming out on this. I'm glad MGM was saved, sort of. And as for Bond, I still don't. This Bond's not been my favorite Bond, but Skyfall made him grow on me. So at this point, I don't even really know how I feel about Bond anymore. As a character, but if they still continue to make them, I hope to see them on the big screen as opposed to a TV movie.
But is it that you're getting fed up with Craig? Is it just time for a new Bond now?
I never liked Craig. He grew on me on Skyfall. And,
Skyfall was a good one, yeah.
And no.
Daniel Craig's James Bond is a Me Too movement waiting to happen.
There's so many wrong things on there.
But that's the thing. It's like I think
Spectre gets worse.
Yeah, but I think the issue is that Bond is an institution, especially here in the UK. Bond on its own is an institution that it's like you think there are Bond is generational, right? You think there are grandparents all the way down to grandchildren, or like we're talking like there's a grandparent, there's parents, there's children, there's now young grandchildren, all of whom that stretch they've all gone to see at least 2 or 3 Bonds in a cinema. Right? Like Bond is a cinematic event. Doesn't matter if the film is good or if it's bad. It's just a cinematic event that you can't shift it, you can't change it, you can't be like, oh, well, we've made this Bond and we're gonna put this Bond on Amazon. Like, no, like you know what? It went into the cinemas. It was there for 3 months. It came out, and now you can put it on Amazon. That's how Bond has to stay. I kind of respect the Broccolis for keeping that mindset of being like, you want to put it on your streaming service, yeah, no problem. After 6 months, 3 months it's in the cinema, and 3 months where it's nowhere.
Yeah. That's usually that's always been the. In terms of, it was just in terms of films now. I'll tell you what though. This slight sidetrack. Going to see Quiet Place. One thing that the streaming thing does work for, you don't get any dickheads in the cinema anymore. No one's picking up their phone. No one's looking at their phone. Everyone's silent. Fucking beautiful. In fact, put more films on. Put more films on streaming. Put more on streaming.
You know what? You know what it is? Just like have someone like before you go to the film. Maybe when you buy your tickets, you got to fill out a small, like maybe 5-6 questionnaire. You know, and then it's just like depending on how you answer that question, you either get a leather belt, a wooden spoon, or a spoon, right? And it's just like, oh, what are you gonna do with that? Oh, like, oh, someone's in the film, and it's like the person goes to check their phone in front of you.
Or even better, like at the comedy shows, they should just put it in a plastic wallet, and that's it. And if anyone's caught talking, kick them out.
Yeah. But I'll say now, it's the compared to the last time I went to the cinema, compared to now, not one dickhead in the cinema. It's fucking great.
They're all scared on it. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
As they can't talk too much. You open your mouth too wide, you might get a little COVID.
Yep. Shh, I'm gonna get COVID.
Because I went to the cinema last week, I believe. I watched The Conjuring 3.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, in the cinema, silence, man. It was peaceful.
Yeah. It's a new world, man. It's a new world without any stupid dick. I've got to curve my language. Unappropriate people that make too much noise being in there.
Yes, not
okay, guys.
I
I got some breaking news. Breaking news. Seth Rogen is producing a CGI animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reboot.
That's been pending for a while, but yeah.
Since last week, eh? I mean, it's great, but through my lifetime, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think about 4 times it's been rebooted.
Yeah,
I don't have the aptitude to be excited about it anymore.
Set for 2023.
The first 4 Ninja Turtle movies, I'm cool with.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when I say the first 4, I mean the original 3 in the 90s with the puppetry and the mask and all of that. And then the animated one where Lawrence Fishburne is the narrator and Patrick Stewart is the villain. I'm good with all 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 that came after that, I don't hate it, but I could do without it.
Yeah.
Do you know what else is green that Seth Rogen tried to revive and failed? Green Hornet.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't produce that. He just starred in it.
He starred in it. He wrote it. He kind of touched it up as well.
Did he write it? I can't remember. I remember it was a comedy, but yeah, I'm going to say something well, I actually didn't mind the Green Hornet.
Yeah, me too. But it wasn't what it should have been. It should have been
totally.
I can easily watch it again.
No, you know what the problem is? The Green Hornet should have been done in the same vein as Shadow, Dick Tracy.
Yeah,
it should be more serious.
It should have been done in that way. Like, there are certain things that you just don't need to update. You're like, all right, when was this set? Oh, 1930s. Guess we're going back to the 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever read Kevin Smith's take on the Green Hornet?
I've heard him talking about it.
Yeah. So he wrote a script for the Green Hornet because Weinstein tried to go, hey, you should. They had the IP, and he was like, comic books. I want you to direct the Green Hornet. So he was like, I don't know about directing it because you know how he is with like directing big spectacles and stuff. But he goes, I'd definitely write the script though. And at one point, it was going to be a John Woo film written by Kevin Smith, starring George Clooney as the Green Hornet and Jet Li as Kato.
That's what should have been.
Yeah, that is what should. No, it was. Sorry, it wasn't Jet Li as Kato. Sorry, it was a woman as Kato. It was a woman as Kato, a woman martial artist as Kato. I'm not too sure who they were looking for the woman, but it was someone quite big in China and Orient at the time. And yeah, man, I think even Kato was in it. And I think they wanted Jet Li to play Kato. I think it was his daughter or something. I'm not too sure. I can't remember it entirely. But what happened was, years went by, script became myth and legend. And because it's Kevin Smith and he's got links to the comic book world, people asked him about it. And the right people asked him about it. And lo and behold, it got adapted into a 4-issue miniseries by DC, I think. And yeah, it was good. It was really good. I wish we got that movie. And if John Woo was directing that script, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? It had the jokes, the right type of jokes. It had the tone, and yeah, we would have got slow motion and doves, and they even make reference in the comic book where Kevin Smith would have put it. But yeah, man, John Woo's Green Hornet would have been sick.
Definitely.
Well, the script was sick anyway. But yeah, but we've taken a tangent from the Ninja Turtles. Personally, I love the Ninja Turtles. I always have done. I've not liked the recent incarnation, but I like the CGI animated show that came out recently. Do I think a good version of the Ninja Turtles can be made? Sure. But like Joe said, yeah, this is the latest one since last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see what comes of it before we praise it and whatnot, because you know what, like most of these things, it might not be aimed at us, but
if he doesn't, because Seth Rogen's on a roll right now. If he reboots it like he's done with his, if he does it like Invincible and Preacher and the other show that he's done, The Boys, then that would be the original Ninja Turtles, the comic book. If he does that, my interest will be up there.
Yeah, totally. So it all depends on what they do. We need to see more about it before we go into it, but they reckon it's going to be out for 2023. So 2 years time. So we'll see what happens, man. But yeah.
Okay. I'll move straight on. Okay. So next up, Joker 2. So I don't know when you wrote this, but I mean, it looks like it's either being written or in the process of being written. Warner Brothers gets Phillips to write Joker 2. Will it happen? That's the question.
So basically, I wrote it knowing that he's writing the script.
Oh, okay.
The reason why I say will it happen is, look, just because someone's writing a script doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It's just like when Ridley Scott said, yeah, we're trying to work out Gladiator 2. And that was his way of saying, like, well, the studio wants a Gladiator 2, but how the hell do you make a Gladiator 2 when Maximus is dead? And it becomes a development hell project because realistically, Ridley Scott doesn't want to do it. He knows deep down it's a one and done thing. And then it's one of those things that goes development as hell. Someone gets paid a lot of money to write a script that goes nowhere. You know what I mean? And that's what I think is the case with the Joker. I think the Joker movie was a perfect movie for what it was trying to accomplish. I really enjoyed it. I thought Joaquin Phoenix was awesome in it. Do I think there could be a sequel? Well, yeah, sure, there could be a sequel because it's the Joker and he's a comic book character. And when you look at that movie well and truly, he only really just got started. You know what I mean? So going back to the well and exploring that character in that universe would probably be cool, so long as it's a Joker movie and not we're trying to segue Batman in and whatnot. Just make it be a Joker movie.
You know they will.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, it's like any way Warner Brothers can mention Batman, they will.
Oh yeah, sure. But I'm talking objectively here, trying to give them the benefit of doubt here. Yeah, at the same time, I really don't want them to do it because that's a standalone film that sits by itself, and the fact it won an Oscar, it's like it's up there with the classic. It's one of those classic comic book movies now. It's
Definitely.
up there, but to do a sequel to it, I don't think lightning can strike twice on this. It's go there with caution. But I think everyone that came out of that movie agreed collectively, were like, yeah, we enjoyed it, but we don't want no more. You know what I mean? We're fine. This is good. You can have it. It's fine. But like, don't go back to the well. Joaquin Phoenix, again, he's kind of like, he doesn't really want to do a Joker 2 unless Todd Phillips can concoct something. And that's obviously what Warner's are banking because they've got the paycheck. And obviously they're offering him mad monies to do the script.
I tell you what.
So now it's a case of whether Todd Phillips is just doing it for a paycheck and probably going to come back and go, I can't crack this thing, but cheers for the money, which happens a lot in Hollywood. I'm not even lying; it happens like every day.
I think that's going to stop.
Yeah, you think that's where it's going to stop?
I think it's going to. There's not enough.
Yeah.
Now there's less cinemas. That flow money, that's not going to be around anymore, dude.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you say that the Joker is one of those films that got made on what, 60 million?
That's before. That's before. That's before
Yeah, that was
pandemic.
That was before pandemic, but let's talk numbers here. Yeah, sure, it made over $1 billion on 60 million. Okay, those are the facts there. But the thing is, okay, even if it comes out and doesn't make $1 billion, it's still going to make its money back just on the sheer fact of that film being as good as it was. So for Warner's, it's it's not even about quality now. It's about a quick cash grab now, and that's profit right there, like easy money. Right? Wait, I'm just breaking down the realities there.
I'm telling you, man. I enjoyed the Joker film, but I'm not. Warner Brothers has convoluted their world so much. I just don't care anymore. And I know there's a lot of people like me. I don't give a fuck. Make as many Joker films as you want. I'm not being bamboozled this time. Make a fucking consistent world, or don't. Make a decision, because I'm out. I'm out. And I really did want to. There's certain things that I really wish that Warner Brothers did. I wish they let Zack Snyder finish his world, because at least it's fucking consistent. It's just fucking convoluted now. It's just like a fucking a Jack Warner's nightmare. I don't know, man. It's weird.
This is the problem. There's a lot of trial and error, and there's a lot of things that didn't work. And now they're cash cows. Joker, and Joker was perfect. The reason why it was perfect, it was an actual film. It wasn't going back to the DC universe and this one and that one and Batman. It hinted at Batman. They were like, he was in the background, but
it was like a DC graphic novel where they just where it's not officially part of the main timeline, but it's like an Elseworld story where it's like, okay, let's try and make a decent story with these characters, and where we have creative license to do stuff. I mean, hell, that's where like Frank Miller's Batman came from. So much that it was so great that they incorporated it into the proper chronologic. So we'll see, but I personally don't think it was going to come out. Well, if it does, it won't be Todd Phillips. I reckon, yeah, sure, he'll write a script, or he might be like, I can't crack it, Warners, but cheers for paying me for a few months.
But why? I mean, would you go to see another Joker film?
Thing is, though, this is the thing. Yeah, I kind of would if it was good.
Okay, so what if there's another this Batman film, Pattinson Batman film, where there's a Joker in it? Would that not bother you?
No, I'd watch it to see the tape.
Fuck Warner Brothers, fuck that shit. No way.
I would. I'm not gonna lie. I would actually see it.
Don't waste my time.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I knew walking into episode 9, it was going to be a clusterfuck. I knew deep down in my bones.
I didn't. I was hoping for the best. I was hoping. You've sold this to me so much. If it's not the best thing, then anything on the planet.
Anyway, point being is, there are certain films where I just need to know, man. I just need to know.
I don't. I know. I saw a good Joker. Heath Ledger was a Joker. I'm good.
True.
That version of Joker did everything that I needed to see about the Joker. This Joker didn't really. He wasn't even the Joker. He was Joker for about 10 minutes.
The beauty of this Joker, it was up there with the classics, Taxi Driver, King of Comedy, and it's like, did they have sequels? And that's why, and fair enough, I'm happy for them to try, if that's what keeps them busy, passes the time, but yeah, I wouldn't be in a hurry to see it if they announced that it was going to be made.
Anyway, take it away, Neil.
I tell you right now, right? This is the number of times I had to watch Joker before I enjoyed it.
Really?
Because the first time I watched it, I was cussing. Second time I watched it, I cussed more. And the third time I watched it was on Blu-ray after I had many discussions with many different people. And they were like, no, like, look at it as an Elseworld story. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if it's Elseworld. I don't care that it's not main timeline, main continuity. I don't need to see an origin story for the Joker. The Joker's entire entity is you don't know. You meet the Joker in a dark alley. He might kill you. Might give you $100. He'll probably kill you, but you just don't know. Right? I don't need to be like, oh, I feel sorry for the Joker because he's a product of undiagnosed mental illness, and like, no. Right? I grew up with Arnie. I grew up with Stallone. Right? I grew up with the male chauvinist, smack a woman on the ass, shoot that bad guy, make a one-liner and leave. Right? Don't look back at the explosions. That's what I grew up with, right? And I grew up reading comic books. Never have I read a comic book that gives me this humongous, that humanizes the Joker. The closest we got to it was the Killing Joke. And considering what the Joker was doing in the Killing Joke, I was like, I don't care what happened to your family, bro. You's wrong. Right? Like, what happened to your family? That was karma. Was like, no, I'm gonna get you first because I seen your future.
Quick one. Speaking of the Killing Joke, sidetrack. Did you watch the animated movie?
Yeah.
Are your thoughts the same as mine? The first 20 minutes just didn't need to happen, and then the rest of it was perfect.
Yeah, like
first 20
that
minutes.
Scene, that scene, I was like, nope.
Yep.
Right, but I mean, it's like I understand that when I take this comic book nerd out and I just look at it from a filmmaking point of view, I understand that any movie that makes $1 billion, there's going to be a sequel. Right? Yeah. I am more than positive that was it 20th Century Fox? I am more than positive that they were on their knees begging James Cameron more than once. Are you sure we can't do a sequel to Titanic? And I'm sure
there is though. There is.
Yeah, on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Titanic too. But I know for sure that he was just like, listen, I'll only do it if you give me the money to raise the actual Titanic from the bottom of the ocean. Right? If you give me that money to let me do that, then I'll make it. Right? Certain films just don't need a sequel. Right? The Joker doesn't need a sequel because the Joker movie is about how this character became the Joker. Right? It's his movie about him. You can't pull the same rug pulls like when he like he's having this relationship with his neighbor, and then you come to find out it's all figment happening in his head, right? That's perfect. That's perfect filmmaking. You can't recreate that, right? They left a nice level of ambiguity between not knowing whether or not if he's really Thomas Wayne's kid, and all of that. These are things I'm like, okay, you did these well. You did these really, really well. But I don't need to see another Joker film, right? It took me 3 tries to enjoy the first one. We ain't going that far with the second one, right? Warner Brothers.
I mean, the more they push into that world, the more you're going to have to see, okay, where's Batman? Where's Batman? Where's Batman? Where's Batman? Where's Batman? I don't want to see another Batman. There's already been 3 in the past 10 years. Come on, man. Sort this shit out, Warner Brothers. I'm sick of this shit. Anyway. I'm
does that include Lego Batman?
If you want. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. I keep bigging up Harley Quinn, and I'm going to continue doing it. The Joker in that is, I would say, akin to... It's a mixture of Heath Ledger's Joker and
Jared Leto.
No. What's his name? The Joker from the TV series.
Romero.
No, the cartoon TV series.
Oh, Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill. It's a mixture between that and that because He's funny, and then he's oh shit, I didn't expect that. And Batman's funny as well because he's so serious in that everything around him. Do you know what? It's a great show, love it. Okay, on to the next thing. Oh yeah, I'll take 2 seconds with this. Friends reunion. Should there be a film? Probably not. I love Friends, but it's done. Okay.
Nope.
What do you guys think?
Nope.
Did you guys watch a reunion?
Nope.
Not yet.
Oh man, you know what? This was put there in hopes that Ken would be on board. So, but yeah, nah, there shouldn't be. I think the show ended perfectly, kind of thing. I know there's a hunger for more. There is actually. There is.
No, you know what it is?
Believe
There's
it or not.
for more. There's a hunger for nostalgia.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
No. That's not true because here's the thing. Every year for the past 10 years, ever since Sex and the City did it, okay, there have been fake Friends trailers since the dawn of time. And I know this because I know multiple people, mainly girls, and a few guys as well, they'll post it going, oh my God, there's a Friends movie. I need to see it. And I troll these people every year. They post the same shit or a different version because someone else has made one. And I troll these people. Now, I know these people exist because there has always been a hunger for these characters after the show had ended, either wanting more in terms of like, let's do more shows, let's do more movies, whatever. There is. And there is, and it's real. And after this reunion thing aired, I've been seeing it again on the internet. Everyone's going, oh, they should do another one, they should do a movie, etc. And I'm like, no, that show ended exactly where it needed to end. It ended perfectly too. Friends is about like that time, as the creator says, it's about the time in that time in your lives where your friends are your family. You know what I mean? Where you see your friends more than your family and shit before you get older and start having your families of your own and doing other stuff.
I mean, that's life.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole point I'm trying to make here is it ended perfectly. I do. You know what? I liked the idea of Joey, the spin-off. The idea was good on paper. The execution, not so much. I'd watch a Joey movie where the friends like popped up. You know what I mean? Where they popped up and do it that way, because then you're not doing.
They've done that already. It's called Episodes. It's written by the.
Yeah, but that's not them as the characters. That's just David Schwimmer just popping up as David Schwimmer.
That's enough for me. That was great.
But no one. No one really wants this. Well, I say no one really wants this. I don't want this, but
considering go on.
Can I interject? See, I am one of the few people on this planet who hasn't watched all of Friends.
Yeah,
I've watched, I think, maybe the first 2 or 3 seasons, and I mean, when I say I watched the 2 or 3 seasons, I mean on Netflix, right?
Okay.
I was not a big fan of the show when it was on TV. I didn't watch it week in, week out.
The show's not for everyone, man.
It's all right. But watching it now, like, over the past amount of time that I've been watching it, for all you people who really, really, really want a Friends movie or or a reboot series, or not a reboot, but a continuation series, go back and watch it.
Yeah, there's plenty of episodes to watch.
But don't watch it with the nostalgic love in your heart that you carry. Watch it with the knowledge that about 70% of that show don't age well.
That's true.
Right?
Oh, right.
2021, there's a lot of shit that happens in Friends that cannot happen now.
True.
A lot of threads, a lot of jokes. Like, look, they cancel people for less. Right? They cancel whole careers for less than some of the shit that went down in Friends. And I'm on season 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's gonna get worse. Right? In terms of the shit that happens on that show.
Right? So I'm just saying, really think about how bad you want this show.
And at the same time, out of all of them, I think what's it, Matthew Perry? Matthew Perry's not doing well, man. He's not.
He's had a tough life since Friends.
Yeah, he's not doing well. I just leave the guy alone.
You know what Matthew Perry needs to do for real. He needs to team up with his old boy, with his old friend that's also in like straight to DVD movie jail. He needs to call Bruce Willis and go, "Yo,
he doesn't.
We need to do the whole 11 yards, man."
Do you much those guys get with residual checks? They could live off one residual check, man. He doesn't need to work ever again. None of them do. All home, none of them do. They just keep getting residual checks for the show because it's on everything.
Yeah.
it's just everywhere. And so,
can I just say, like, our Friends are I was a casual fan of it. I kind of dipped in and dipped out. But like, you're right, it hasn't aged well. If you watch it today, like, you have to be so naive to like let those fly above you. When you when you analyze everything that's being said, it just doesn't flow well today. Yeah. And then so it's like, okay, you're gonna make Friends, you can try and make it a bit more up to date now. Then it's not Friends.
Yeah. If you made Friends today, it would be shit.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm someone who I grew up in the time period that they live in, that they talk about. I'm not offended easily, right? But I'm just saying, as someone who has watched how many people have been cancelled for old jokes, like, oh, you said this tweet 10 years ago, boom, good night, right? And I'm like, look, right? Chandler's mum.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that's
right. That situation, no. Like, Chandler's mum, that shit can only happen on Pornhub now. Fall back, right? The whole thing of like the way that they address, the way that Monica was when she was in school and college, they call that fat shaming now. Cut that out, right? Ross's whole fascination with Rachel, they call that stalking now. Fall back. Like, you really need to really think about it. Joey's a womanizer, right? There's so much that show was perfect at the time it came out with, and if you were alive at that time, or at least teenager to early adult at that time, you got no issues with it. Mm-hmm. But if you think of some of the things that people have been cancelled for right now, nah, leave it in the past. Let it age like with that nostalgic wine that only those who are, eligible can taste. And just leave it there.
I mean, the whole world is becoming stupider. So I don't know if that's the right policy anyway. I don't know what's right anymore. Everything's down, everything's up. What's up is down, down is up. I don't fucking know. But I'm surprised none of that stuff has been cut out of the show, to be honest. Because I reckon maybe about 30% out of all the show's entirety would be cut out. Because
the only thing that's been cut out of the show, and I remember this because they did this years ago, was I think when they flipped the show DVD, they took out the Twin Towers.
Right.
So
really?
All the establishing shots of New York, where they've got like shots, and they're like, there's a shot of the Empire State Building, and then there's some shots of the Twin Towers. The Twin Towers shots have been cut out.
Oh, damn.
Other than that, everything's still in there.
Damn.
You made me want to rewatch Friends now. just to check that out. What, they did that to all the previous seasons, like seasons 1,
from like season 1 upwards, right? They cut it out.
Damn. You know what? That actually does make me upset. I know it was a big tragedy and stuff, but at the same time, those buildings were quite a monument to look at. Like they were very iconic, but like I've actually been there. I've seen what it looked like back in day, and I've seen what it looked. Well, I haven't seen it since they've had the new skyscraper there, but I've seen what it was like before they built the new skyscraper. It was just like a big digging site where everyone's just digging. I remember when I went out there, it took us like an hour to even drive around the whole thing, man. It was like fucking nuts. But like, yeah, man. But when they were about, those things were fucking gigantic, man. Like fucking hell. And when I see, you know what? When I see that old skyline, that old skyline, there's just something about it. There's just something about it where I'm just like, yeah, that it was just such a cool looking skyline, man. Back then, and when I see it in old 80s films, that nostalgia beats and stuff, it's like, yeah, man. But that's just me. I don't know. So I think that's sad that they took it out. They obviously did that because they didn't want to offend New Yorkers and stuff. But
it's on the Blu-rays. It's still on them.
Is it? Okay.
I guess it's just Netflix that have done it. Maybe just Netflix on HBO.
No. I remember this before this came on Netflix. Before this,
so on the DVD.
I heard about this prior to me watching the show.
Okay.
That they'd removed like all exterior shots of the Twin Towers. So maybe on the Blu-ray, either they forgot or what they were transferring from was
so the transfers from the film print. So whatever whatever version, I don't know, but whatever version that's on Netflix or on the streaming sites, they've probably done their own thing too.
Yeah,
I don't know, but that's.
I might check that out. But yeah, anyway.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Yeah, the only thing is the Friends, like, if they had a film now, it'd probably have to be set today. They'll be like late 40s going on 50s. They wouldn't be flatmates anymore. They'll be married, settled, getting anxiety because they miss each other. Maybe it'll just be a disaster.
But by the time the show ended, they were in the mid 30s. So they would
50 maybe.
Yeah, so they'll be 50s. Ben would be 22 now. Ben is Ross's son, and he'll be in his mid 20s. So
you know what? Fuck it. I take it back. Right? Y'all make a Friends movie. They all come back for Ben's wedding.
Oh wow!
There's your pitch. Reunite for Ben's wedding. Right?
Okay, it's an event. It brings all the characters back. You bring some new ones in. Boom! Yeah, you got a story there. Warner Brothers, if you're looking at this, you need to pay us.
I got some shit for you, Warner Brothers, right? I tell you what happened to Joey's life. Joey's not the star, but he married a star. How about that shit?
Chandler's mom. Okay. So Zack Snyder wishes to do a Dark Knight Returns type dealie. That's just like everyone else who's read that comic. So yeah, you guys have it.
So yeah, it's not he's doing it. They asked him if he was to like dabble in the DC universe, what would be his dream project, and he was just like, I'd like to adapt Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns frame for frame, just like how he did 300 and Watchmen. And the fanboy in me just went, yes, please make this happen. Neil, what do you think?
If he did it shot for shot, frame for frame, great. The only issues I personally have with it is his magnum opus has only just been on Blu-ray for a couple of weeks now, right?
Yeah.
And because in Batman v Superman, because he utilized like essentially one core artistic aesthetic from the Dark Knight Returns, it does like to me it just it creates a conflict because it's a thing now that we have already seen.
Yeah.
Right?
We've
literally seen Superman, we've seen Batman and Superman fight, and we've seen Batman wear that suit to fight him. So even though the story is significantly longer than just that fight, but at the same time I say that, I mean, if he got Stephen Amell to play an old man Oliver Queen, son, you're talking business. You get like, you get some of the characters, or some of the, utilize some of the characters from things that we've seen and bring them back. So, like, I remember that Selena Kyle is in Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, bring her back.
Oh, so you're saying bring back Michael Keaton as
right
the guy, right?
Yeah, I'm like bring that back, the old guard, right? Bring back.
Hang on, would you bring Brandon Routh as Superman?
Nah.
No.
We could find a nice older gentleman, maybe Nathan Fallon, right? Like it. But you know, we could bring an older gentleman in to play Superman. Hell, Schwarzenegger's old.
No, not Arnold. No, don't, man. Don't. You lost me there.
Yeah. But look, I'm just like, there are many ways it could be done, but realistically, I wouldn't want to see it done. Right? And look, they made an animated movie of it, and they had to cut it into 2 parts.
And that was perfection.
Yeah. So
that was perfection. Yeah.
That's hard work.
I think the only thing they'd have to really change is probably the dialogue with the gangs, because that stuff worked in the comic for the time that it was written. Really dated now. I remember showing it to Joe ages ago, and he was just like, "Why do they talk like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you got a point." Yeah. And funnily enough, I saw a film, an old 80s film, where they talk like that as well. Like street gangs are talking like that. I was like, "Oh, okay. Did he get it from there?" But no, that's actually like, yeah. Anyway, Ben?
Yeah, I'm not actually familiar with that comic book, so yeah, that's kind of.
Just watch the animated films. Just watch the 2 parts. Watch it. You know what?
It's top 5. It's like top 3 Batman comic books of all time.
You know what? That's who you get as Batman. Get RoboCop back.
Oh.
Get him to do it in real life. Well, then everyone would be screaming, "Why did you get Keaton?"
I've got nothing to say on this. I just don't. Warner Brothers need to sort out their shit first before I even smile at the idea. Okay, so Shazam 2. So it looks like it's starting filming. Your thoughts?
Don't
bring it out, innit?
Hey man, I'm just asking what the question asked me to ask.
Is that Space Jam 2? Did you say?
No, Shazam 2.
Oh, Shazam, sorry.
I really
done finished being filmed.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Shazam personally. I really liked it. I thought they got the characters right and everything. I liked that it was standalone as well. The only thing I was disappointed in was what should have been a fully fledged cameo at the end, but they chickened out of that because like studios doing studio things and Warner's being Warner's over stupidness. Because I think if Henry Cavill had just rocked on in, you know what I mean, it would have just been the cherry on top there for Shazam fans. But you know, we didn't get that. But hopefully we'll get it in this movie and Black Adam. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to this one, man. Like I said, really love the first movie. Want to see what they build on with this one. They should have greenlit this straight away and started filming like ages ago, because those kids are just going to get older. Just putting it out there, you know. They should have really hammered this out as a trilogy straight off the bat. But anyway, thoughts, guys?
Yeah, no, I agree. I did like the first one. It was kind of a step away from the big budget Marvel stuff. So it was just something, as you said, it was standalone, and it just, it was a breath of fresh air. It's just like when you wanted something different, you didn't want to get into all the intensity that Marvel has, as brilliant as it is. But
you forgot to mute yourself, bro.
But yeah, no, deserve the sequel. And like Satcher said, it should have been sooner. But fine, if they're doing it now, roll on.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I didn't, as I said, it's just see my statement before. Warner Brothers, sort your universe out, because I don't know what to fucking watch. So I'm like, should I invest in this character? Are you going to make another one? Oh, you're not going to make another one. Oh, you are going to make another one. Oh, it's a different guy this time. It's in a different sub-universe. Fucking make up your mind. Don't waste my time. And that's what I got to say. I wanna watch some of these things, but I might if I invest in this, is it just gonna end here? is that where it ends? Is it gonna be someone else? Is Ben Affleck not gonna be Batman anymore? I don't know what's going on, man. Come on. I would, yeah. I just lost it on air.
No one can blame me for that, Joe. No one can blame me for that. And you know what makes it worse, Joe? Is think this is the reaction you're having, and you are not a comic book aficionado.
Yeah. I just want some consistency.
Imagine the heartache of like, you know, like people that invested their whole lives into this shit.
I mean, I'd want to kill someone if that was the case. There's been many a
times where I've watched a superhero film, and in my head, I've thought, am I really like the kind of person who could, you know, be premeditated and go thump someone in the face, just like see the person and be like, oh yeah, look over there. What? Yeah, that's the person who wrote this film. And then just be like, yeah, and just hit them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't Shazam. I'm glad they're making another one, but you've not sold me. I'm gonna jump into the next topic, which is Kraven the Hunter. It looks like Aaron Taylor Johnson is Kraven for some reason, even though he's already been in this universe or a universe similar to this, which is going to be meta. He's a good choice.
Die hero. Or you live looking at to become a villain.
Yeah. And in this case, he died a hero and became a villain. Well, yeah, good. I think it's a good choice. After seeing him in Tenet, I believe it.
It's weird. It's weird. So everything I've ever known or read or seen of Kraven the Hunter, Aaron Taylor Johnson is not that guy.
Right.
It's a clear, absolute, like, obvious and, like, you know, too easy, so easy, you're not even thinking about it choice would obviously be so more. But as an actor, Aaron Taylor Johnson is a astoundingly good actor whose film repertoire does not really reflect how good he is. So I'm like, I can like if they say, oh, you need someone to act this way who can pull out this performance you can believe, he can do it. He just doesn't physically look the way he's been depicted. So I'm torn between like, okay, you're not gonna look the way I want you to look.
I don't know.
He probably do a fine job acting wise.
I think he's quite a chameleon because he's for me he's kind of gone the Gary Oldman route of acting. Like he'll be in this film, like, oh shit, that's Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Gary Oldman. It's I watched True Romance for. I first watched it at Satcher's house, and I watched it again and again and again, and that's Gary Oldman. Do you know how many times I've watched that film? How many times? I didn't know that was Gary Oldman. That's when you disappear to your character. That's for me. That's acting. That's you got me. So if he's going to be that type of actor where he can just you see his face, but you can't see him as a particular character. And when he shows up as Kraven and he looks to yours the way you believe it is, then he's definitely that type of character actor. But yeah, that's why I go. But anyway, but he's a talent, and they clearly want to reuse him. So
well, he's not the first person. I mean, Gemma Chan, she's in.
Oh yeah, that's right. Externals, the internals.
Yeah, she's in Externals,
the internals,
and she was in Captain
Cream Pies.
Marvel. Digimon Houston, same thing, but I mean technically he's different because he was playing the same character twice.
Right.
But he's in Captain Marvel. He's in Externals. Not Externals. Sorry, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy. Right. So yeah, man, Marvel got a habit of sometimes being like, nah, we used you once, but you good enough to come back.
Okay. Well, Satch, do you have any insight on this?
Yeah, he's a great talent. Yeah, he could act. He could probably act a part. 1,000,000,000% not my first choice. Still not sure whether I like it deep down, but that's the fanboy in me saying that. Straight off the bat, wrong guy. Not because he's Quicksilver, just wrong guy.
Was.
Was. But, however, let's give him his due. I'm pretty sure he was picked for a reason. Maybe he'll ace it out the park. Like you said, he's a chameleon of an actor, so maybe. I'm not sold, but until I see a trailer or, what he actually physically looks in the movie, and I'll stay to wait for that. As Neil said, obvious choice, Jason Momoa, hands down. Just hands down. What, like I don't understand. Like, I understand that they were casting this guy for ages. They had Keanu Reeves in mind, and I can kind of see why, with the way he looks in the John Wick films, etc. But he just doesn't have the build, I guess. But, maybe they could work around that. I don't know. But at least I would have been like, okay, I can kind of see it. But the problem is with Keanu Reeves, can he pull off a Russian accent?
He could speak Russian.
Okay, in that case, cool. But Aaron Taylor Johnson, I know he can do the Russian accent. That's fine. But he just doesn't. Yeah, we'll have to see. But I just think there are other actors that could pull it off a lot better. But that's just me personally as a hardcore fan reacting there. But I'm willing to give him benefit of the doubt. As for the Kraven movie, like most of the Sony Spider-Man idea, standalone movies, there's not really much you can do with that character for him to deserve a standalone movie. But I guess Sony are really trying to milk out the Spider-Man IP as much as they can here. He's never really been a character that lends himself to his own movie, but I guess maybe the closest I could get is if you did the version where they made him Australian in the Ultimate Universe, and he has like a Steve Irwin type TV show. Maybe you can make a comedy series out of that, but that's not what people want when they see Kraven the Hunter. That's not. I mean, like, it worked for that iteration of the comic book, but in terms of what they set up from Far From Home, and if you don't know what they set up in Far From Home, not really.
No,
not
okay.
really.
I don't know. When you said
Far From Home's on Netflix, so if you ain't seen it, this is your own peril.
Yeah, so the character of Dimitri from Far From Home that, is very Russian and has a Jason Momoa kind of look. That is the chameleon in the he's known as the villain called the Chameleon in the Spider-Man comics. He's clearly Kraven's brother. So it's kind of like, okay, so they didn't cast a guy that looks just like Kraven, that kind of resembles that guy, who's clearly the Chameleon. But okay, cool. So that, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about it until I see it. So, I mean, I can't really say anything. We'll find out soon, because apparently the trailer has dropped. Is dropping anytime soon. It got leaked literally while we were doing the podcast, but it's been taken off air completely because I was trying to find it so we could go talk about it. But it's been and gone now. But I guess we'll react to it next time, I guess. But we'll see. We'll have to see. But yeah, what's next?
Okay. So Spider-Man's future, the MCU. The contract is up for Disney and Marvel, for Sony and Marvel in their shared deal. This film that's coming out is the last film they'll distribute, and he has one more obligation, and I think that will be Doctor Strange. or whatever film that they want to use them in, and so that'll be it. So what's the future for Spider-Man?
They sign another deal.
yeah, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
There's no other way around it.
It's
right?
too lucrative. Right? It's too lucrative.
No
and it's successful. It's going well. Tom's doing a good job.
Yeah. It's
like, Sony, and I can understand Sony. I'm talking directly to you. I get it. You're not getting the best out of this deal, right? Disney giving you the backhand, right? But it is always better to get a little of a lot than a lot of a little, right? And let's face it, right? You're part of the Avengers. You're part of the MCU right now, right? Enjoy it. Embrace it, right? Kraven the Hunter. You do good with this shit, he could be going to Wakanda at some point, right? And you have the possibility of having Tom Holland Spider-Man interact with the symbiotes. That's money. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't get on your high horse. Let that horse sit in the stable and chew on some hay.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but to be honest, I think at this point Disney might do the stupid move. Might make the stupid move.
But that's the thing. If Disney make the stupid move, well then Sony, hey, it wasn't your fault. But I don't think Disney will make the stupid move because the MCU still centers on what Kevin Feige wants, and I don't think Kevin Feige is responsible for more great things to come from Marvel than people really will give him credit for. And I'm talking about X-Men 1 and all of that. So, if Disney make a stupid move, alright, it was their ball to play with, but I don't think Kevin Feige is that guy.
No, I don't think he is either. But yeah, that's the only way for it to go. Yeah, so go on, Satch.
Well, but if Disney make the stupid move, it's not on Feige, it's on Bob Chapek.
Yeah,
it's on Bob Chapek. And the thing is, Disney are in a transitional moment at the process at the moment with stuff, because apparently they've shifted, they've taken away control from the creatives or certain creatives at Disney. So we'll have to see how that goes into play. It won't take effect immediately. It'll be something that will happen in years to come. But we'll have to see how that chess move plays out. There's a bigger story to that, but we're not here about scoops and rumors and stuff. So, which is why I've never really reported about it. Not really discussed it, but maybe we'll do it on another podcast sometime. But in regards to this deal, basically it gives Sony an out totally, because the deal was for free. The deal, they extended the deal for this film. It's called Spider-Man No Way Home for a reason, because quite clearly you can predict what's going to happen. He's going to get stuck in the Sony universe, and we will get Tom Holland hang out with Sony characters, because he's, they're setting it up for him to interact with Venom, with Kraven, with all of these guys in an alternative reality. And, he's going to be in that reality until they decide to re-up the deal over at Disney, Sony, whoever the powers may be to make that happen. That could be straight away, or that could be in 10 or 20 years, whether they want to still keep Tom Holland as Spider-Man. But either way, that's kind of where it is. Personally, I think the smart people know this shit makes money. Spider-Man Far From Home is the biggest grossing Sony movie of all time. If No Way Home makes $1 billion, then that will be. And Sony will be stupid enough to not be after the $1 billion monies, So, yeah. I mean, their second biggest grossing movie is Bad Boys 3. So, no brainer really on, what they should do. And I think Neil said it in a nutshell, man. Stick with Marvel. But, yeah, ball's in their court.
Yeah. Well, moving on. Has anyone else got more to say on this?
No, fine.
Cool. Okay. Last story of the day is J.J. Abrams admits they may not have been a plan for the Star Wars sequels, and Snoke's origin revealed. I don't really know what to say about that one, guys. You gotta help me out here, man. I don't know what to say.
Nope.
Okay. Look, I'd rather forget the last Star Wars film, and I watched it 1.5 times. The second time was just to make sure that I saw it right, and by the time I got halfway through it, I did see it right. I still don't blame JJ for this. I blame entities. It's they were trying to strip this of all what made it Star Wars and try to inject something else, and it's a bad move, especially to mess with a franchise that big, and for the amount they paid for it. It's not something you want to mess around with. Just write the best story you can without any interference or putting any overly demanding cultural zeitgeisty things into it. It just doesn't. It's Star Wars. The closest thing Star Wars ever referenced is World War II, and that's with the way the ships worked in terms of its physics. And that's about it. Or you could go a bit further than that. That the Empire was the SS, and they were just going from planet to planet. Do as I say, or die. So yeah, the SS.
And you got the Vietnam War comparison with the Ewoks.
Oh right, fair enough. Yeah. And so look,
and the time when the businessmen from the USA went to Hawaii to negotiate a trade federation to take over the island and make it another state of the USA. I believe that was the whole plot to the Phantom Menace.
That's it. I thought that's just a trade deal. That's what happens in trade deals all the time.
Yeah, but that's what the Phantom Menace was based on. It was based on the businessmen. Yeah, it was. Yeah, 100%.
Wow,
George Lucas as well.
Wow, that's weird. Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, the Trade Federation with the Americans, and but it's all history covered in sci-fi very well without shoving a message down our throats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I said, there's no zeitgeist moments in it like there is in not the Force Awakens, but the two after that. The broom boy scene and the whole thing on the planet where the like everything stops and say children are the future, so are girls, so are what, everyone's inclusive, black, white. It's so in your face. It's just I came to see Star Wars. I came to get away from the problems of the earth, man. Anyway, I don't really know what to say about this. JJ made them. Again, it wasn't JJ's fault. He tried to fix a mess. It didn't work. He moved on.
Damn, man, you know what?
Like,
I know I kept saying we shouldn't talk about this, but deep down, there's only been the only time I could really think this through would probably be Shia LaBeouf talking about Transformers 2 when they were making Transformers 3, and he was like, "We dropped the ball, and we're sorry."
Mm-hmm.
Like all of that, you really need to have a plan, and I'm like, okay, JJ, you trying to save the next generation of filmmakers. The next generation of film, they ain't gonna get the money you got to make a Star Wars film.
That's very true,
right? They're not gonna be given that, right? And trust me, after giving Rian Johnson the creative freedom to make The Last Jedi, right? Filmmakers ain't getting that kind of freedom with a big budget franchise no more. Them days is dead. Everyone else has learned. Every studio has learned. They're like, oh yeah, all right, we want you to make the next Ghostbusters. All right, I got these ideas. I want to do this. I want to do this. No. You're gonna make Ghostbusters. Here's your script, right? You've got 17 words. What do you mean 17? You got 17 words. That's what you can change. 17 words. Not 18, 17. Right? Go about your business. Right? That's what's going to happen for every other filmmaker who, like, you step into them big shoes of, franchise, especially billion-dollar franchises. Right? No more creative freedom. Do as you're told. And have a plan? No, they're gonna bring you the plan. That is what's going to happen. Because no film studio wants, no film studio is going to allow what happened with the sequel trilogy to happen to them. Except maybe Warner Brothers.
If they can get to a trilogy. Yeah, I don't have much more to say on this. If this rumors are true and I forgot his name, George Lucas is getting creative control back, that's probably the best move that Disney can do right now.
So I haven't spoke, but I mean, yeah. I mean, where do I even begin with this, man?
That's not. And that's the Zedos Go podcast.
Yeah.
Go on.
Where do I even begin, man? But at least he put his hand up. At least he put his hand up and said he wasn't. He was put in a position. You know what I mean? There are certain things that he wasn't allowed to change. He said. The thing is, what I like about JJ was he didn't say it was Star Wars. He said in the course of his career, etc. So some people are going to be like, well, he didn't talk about Star Wars. He was doing it in such a way where he was totally talking about Star Wars. He didn't have, he couldn't do certain things with certain characters, which is why the characters were the way they were. You know what I mean? Even in, as much as a success Force Awakens was, because you know what, I generally like Force Awakens. I think everyone around the books enjoyed the Force Awakens.
I think probably like everyone else, but yeah, it was a good film.
But let's face it, it could have been better. We just went with it because we wanted to see what it evolved into, and what it evolved into was a studio checklist of bullshit. You know what I mean? With nostalgia fairies on you, it's like, fine, we can accept nostalgia for that first movie, but then now you've got to give us something a bit different.
Boy, did they.
But was it though? But was it different? I mean, like, you had the Emperor scene from fucking Return of the Jedi played out like, yeah, it was different the way it played out, but it was the exact same scene.
There was more people in the room.
Yeah, there was more people in the room. There you go. I mean, like, and then when you come to Rise of Skywalker, you know what? Like, Last Jedi did a lot of wrong and damage to integral characters to the franchise, but Rise of Skywalker is a worse film. It is a clusterfuck of a film. It's so bad, it destroys the legacy of Star Wars. Not even the legacy, just like the 6 films that George made. It literally goes, those films, they're irrelevant because Anakin Skywalker's journey ain't worth shit. It was all about Rey the whole time. You know what I mean? That's basically what it does. It literally tears the house of George down. And then the other thing was, like, it has so many inconsistent plot holes in it. And you know what? Like, I try not to think about this movie. It's like one of my worst nightmares just watching it again. But you know what? Someone bought something to me today, and it's quite literally like the moment where, like, Anakin Skywalker turns around in episode 3 to Palpatine and goes, is it possible to learn this power? He goes, not from a Jedi. And he's talking about reviving people back from the dead, yet Rey can do it without learning shit. You know what I mean? You just go to a cave, this this power that cannot be learnt by a Jedi. She just knows. She just picks it up. She picks it up. She saves the fucking worm thing. She brings Kylo Ren back to life, and then he also doesn't learn it, but he saw her do it to him. So all of the time, this is how learning works like 40 years later in a galaxy far, far away. Maybe there was a Matrix scenes where they screwed knowledge into the head, like fucking what Elon Musk is fucking doing, that we didn't see, and that's how they know all these force powers and shit. I don't fucking know, but it makes no fucking sense. So you know what I mean? That's another plot hole of the day. The other thing is, no, Neil, I ain't finished, bro. Trust me, I ain't. The other thing is, this film has so many plot holes. They're trying to explain it in other media and stuff. The latest, oh my god, fucking, you're telling me Snoke is a clone from Luke Skywalker's fucking hand? Does that not seem important to like put that in a fucking movie than a fucking comic book? Oh wait, you're backpedaling because you can't explain shit. And then you're trying to tell me now in this comic book, Darth Vader knew about Snoke and knew about all these fucking Star Destroyers with the power of fucking Death Star, like pre-Jedi. It's like, well, why are we building a fucking Death Star, son, when we got these motherfuckers just standing here for some reason? What, for rainy day? Like, it brings more credence to when the Death Star got destroyed. Why the hell didn't they, like, get Palpatine back? Because obviously he's a clone, right? And just bring the fucking Star Destroyers to fucking wipe out all these fucking rogue planets and rebels and shit, like, straight away. Makes no freaking sense. This movie sucked balls hard, and they're still trying to justify shit now for all these little breadcrumbs and stuff. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, have a plan. You realize that now? You guys had from 2011 to 2015 to come up with something. You know what I mean? To come up with something, and they couldn't come up with shit. Hell, you know what? People give the Wachowski brothers such a bad rep on fucking Matrix 2 and 3. You know what? They did a bang-up job. They made Oscar-winning movies compared to fucking... You know what? That's way too harsh on fucking the Wachowskis, man. I'm picking up the wrong franchise. Fucking name a franchise that's... Man, seriously. Die Hard 5 is better than fucking Rise of Skywalker, okay? At least... Oh, man, I'm scraping barrels here, but trust me, man,
something just occurred to me.
Like, wow.
Something just occurred to me, right?
What's that?
Rey is Palpatine's granddaughter.
Yeah, but she's got Skywalker blood as well, because they fused, like, the hand with fucking Palpatine's DNA to make his offspring, which makes no sense. Okay. Makes no sense.
But
I mean, like, I didn't see ovaries on Luke Skywalker's hand.
Let Neil finish what he's saying, man.
They're saying that granddaughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means one of Rey's parents is Palpatine's child. But if you've seen Revenge of the Sith, who is fucking Palpatine?
But dude, he's the most powerfulest guy in the whole universe.
That's Harvey Weinstein waiting to happen.
Yeah, well, dude. So he must have loads of illegitimate children, man. He must.
Because I'm like, who is laying on their back, letting that man finish?
Okay, at least the Palpatine from at least episode 1. He's still young enough there to. All right. Yeah, he had some young women in the past.
Yeah, he was young and virile. But think about it like this, right? If that's the case, look at the age of Rey.
Yeah, it's inconsistent.
The numbers don't match up, right? That means he had to be slinging dick after the whole lightning turned his face, right? And I'm just like, who is under that man looking up like, yeah, keep going.
You're going into some dark places here.
But I mean, yeah, Ryan Johnson.
I guess we really don't
Ryan
know the
Johnson.
dark side of the force.
Yes.
All I gotta say is, Ryan Johnson, it's your turn to admit shit, man. He's never going to, because he thinks his shit. He thinks his shit like smells so great.
To be honest, I don't even blame him too tough. He was just told, yeah, you've got free rights on this film. I'll do the same. Yeah. I'll do the fucking same. You want me to? Okay. I'm gonna make it. You remember you said that. You said it. You said it. Not me. You said it. Okay, cool. I'll make my fucking film. Fuck these Jedis. Fuck that. Fuck this. Yeah, this is my movie. Fuck the rest of Star Wars. This is the only Star Wars film that exists. I'm fucking Ryan Johnson. Good night.
Yeah. I mean, hell, even Star-Lord had like fucking 2% of a plan or whatever the percent of a plan. I mean, fucking hell, man. 12% of a plan. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Biggest franchise in history.
It's the biggest. It's the biggest bull drop in film history.
Yeah. They had 4 freaking years to write 3 freaking movies, and they couldn't even get that right. Like, wow.
I asked you to kill Superman, and you couldn't even do
Yeah,
that.
just couldn't even do that. Just couldn't even do that.
Had one job.
I mean, like, there was an interview where they were like, yeah, we were trying to write Luke Skywalker in the script, but he's just too damn powerful to be in it. I'm like, why is that an excuse? People want to see that shit. When we saw Mandalorian, were people like leaping to joy and people crying and shit, tears of joy. That's what I wanted out of these movies. But instead we just got, holy shit, what the fuck just happened, man?
Well, we're not going to solve any of Disney's woes or Kathleen Kennedy's or George Lucas's woes at the moment. So, but it's a good debate, nevertheless. And if you feel any different, the folks out there that are listening or are not, write in and leave a comment, say something. What do you think? Yeah, we'll probably even put it in the show. On that note, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Satch. Thank you, Neil.
Thank you, Joe.
Anything to plug, Neil?
Well, there's a little show called Creative Control you might want to check out if you guys like this.
Where do you find it?
Oh, you can find it on YouTube, and you can find it on all good podcast services.
Fantastic. And you can also find this podcast on YouTube and copy and paste the statement, change the name of the show. And I'm so tired. This has been without doubt, this has been the Zedos Again podcast. We're done.
Go on, do it. Come on.
I am the man that killed Jamie Lannister.